No, I've been away for a while, but I am so excited and happy to be back tonight. I want to welcome you to world-renowned motivational speaker, speech coach, and best-selling author, Les Brown, Monday Night Motivation, featuring Les Brown and the Platinum Speakers Voices of Hope. For those of you that have joined us before, and for the first-time listeners, this is your place for motivation, inspiration, and empowerment. I am Anita Hicks, your host, peak performance strategist, and life coach. Thank you so much for investing in yourself and joining us tonight. Now, Mr. Brown is going to join the call a little bit later. I know that I put on Facebook that we were going to do a tribute to Wayne Dyer, but we're going to do that as well. Dr. Stacie N.C. Grant, the voice that you guys hear every Monday, she's going to be joining in, and we are going to just talk a little bit about Dr. Wayne Dyer, who some of you, if you are familiar with Dr. Wayne Dyer and all the work that he's done, the books that he's written, he was one of the most powerful motivational speakers and author out there. So we're going to say some things about him and share some things, and hopefully Les Brown will come on and share as well. But before I introduce Dr. Stacie N.C. Grant, I want to share with you what my favorite Wayne Dyer quote is. It says, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Powerful, powerful, powerful. Dr. Stacie N.C. Grant, Empowerment Specialist. Stacie, how are you, girl?
I am excellent, Anita. I am here, loud and clear. I muted my own self out, OMG. But
well, listen, I just got your text, so you know how we do. This is live, so
exactly.
I don't have my formal introduction like I typically do, but just know that this woman is powerful. She is an empowerment specialist. So Stacie, I know that Les told us to hold it down until he gets here tonight. So I'm going to allow you to share some things with the listening audience while we wait for Les to get on the call, and then I'm going to come back and join you. How about that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm actually getting a text from Les right now. There is a lot going on tonight, and as you can imagine, ladies and gentlemen, he's being called on. Wayne Dyer was a personal friend of his, and there's a lot that will be said and done, and he might squeeze it out and get on, but if not, he has asked me to start it off and to really give tribute to a man who has represented so much to everyone. So before we get started, I want to say hello. You know, Anita, it's so great when we can hear the voices of our listeners that tune in every single Monday night.
Yes,
this is their
absolutely.
place for motivation and inspiration. They not only hear the voice of Mr. Les Brown, they hear our platinum speakers and the work that we're doing to really change lives. And you actually took one of the quotes that I was going to focus on tonight, which is so important. And Dr. Dyer, he shared a consistent message each and every day. And what I love about the tributes is that we don't have to mourn that he's no longer here in the physical, because he lived full. He was the message that he brought. And one of the things they put up on the website for Dr. Wayne Dyer was one of his quotes: we are not our bodies, our possessions, our careers. Who we are is divine love, and that is infinite. I'll repeat that once again. We're not our bodies, our possessions, or our careers. Who we are is divine love, and that is infinite. So his work, his words, they will live on for years and ages to come. It's timeless. It's infinite. Those of you who've never heard of Dr. Wayne Dyer, just Google him. Just go to his website. You will see how he has written over 40 books. 20 of them were New York Times bestsellers. He helped to raise money, a passionate cause that he really dedicated his time and his energy to, which is over $250 million for public television. And I love that about him, because he said there were too many things in the media that didn't serve us, that didn't help us to grow, because he was always on a consistent path of self-development and spiritual growth. He always wanted to seek the deeper questions to have the conversations that would stretch us from our ordinary way of thinking. So in addition to everything that he has done, all that he has accomplished, I have a special affinity when it comes to Dr. Dyer because he taught at my alma mater, St. John's University. He is known for a lot of the lectures that he gave there, as well as, of course, the public and published works. But tonight, I want us, when we pay tribute to somebody, I want you to think about your own life, your own dreams, the things that you are moving forward with and doing. Because at some point, we must travel this road. And we want to be at a point that when that time comes, our life is celebrated. Yes, our heart breaks when we lose someone that we love, someone that is dear to us. We really can't articulate or put into words the kind of hole sometimes that it leaves within our spirit. But the only thing that can fill that is the memory of substance, the memory of a legacy, the memory of what the life represented. And Dr. Wayne Dyer, he represented the fullness of life. And he shared a story that if any of you have ever heard him, you've ever listened to any of his programs, you've watched any of his YouTube videos, there's a popular story that he shares, and one in particular that I'm going to open up with tonight. And it was when he was 19, he had an uncle that recommended he read a book. And in this book, there was a story about this gentleman who had gotten to his deathbed. And basically, he wasn't in a marriage that he really loved. And, you know, long story short, he's sitting there knowing he's dying, and he's looking up at the partner he chose that he particularly didn't love anymore, and just had a lot of questions running through his mind. I can only imagine what it feels like if you are able to realize that the breath, the life that we have is seeping away and slowly leaving, and we'll no longer be here with our loved ones. And he looked up and he said, what if my whole life has been wrong? Every time he says it, every time I hear it, I do the same thing he did when he tells the story. What if my whole life has been wrong? And he said from that moment, that's what invited him to write one of the laws that he lived by. Don't die with your music in you. Write that down, somebody. Don't die with your music in you. So we can celebrate tonight that Dr. Wayne Dyer, he didn't die with his music in him. He lived a life on purpose. He spent a lot of time teaching and training on the power of intention, on living on purpose. And he didn't start his life off with a silver spoon in his mouth. He had a rough beginning. He had orphanages that he grew up in. His story wasn't that bright and colorful in his early days, but he chose through the power of intention to be able to move and shift the consciousness of who he was and what he decided to bring to the world. Just as that quote that Anita mentioned, when we talk about the power of intention, he literally spent hours and hours of training, pages and pages of manuscript, breaking down a very simple but complex statement. When you change the way you think, the things that you look at change. Now, most people are like, yeah, that sounds good in theory. That sounds great. Yeah, you can change the way you think, but it is that simple. See, sometimes we go through life and we complicate things. How many of us have been there? Some of the simplest things that we have to do, we make it seem so hard. We build up this big anxiety in our mind that there's no way we can get it done. There's no way that's possible. When you think about when Roger Bannister run a mile in under a minute, people said that couldn't be done. But once he did it, look how many people broke the record. When I think about Diana Nyad that I shared on the call a few weeks ago, that people said she couldn't swim from Cuba to Key West, that it was impossible. It was scientifically impossible for her to do it. But she didn't subscribe, as Wayne Dyer used to always say, you ignore what other people are telling you that you can't accomplish. You ignore what they're saying because the assignment wasn't given to them. It was given to you. And if you live your life on purpose, if you spend your time constantly speaking the right words over your life, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When we look at our circumstances, if we see lack, if we see that, oh my goodness, there's zero in my bank account, or maybe there's a negative zero in my bank account. And we focus on that, and we just stay there, and we answer people when they ask us how we're doing. Oh, I'm broke, and I don't have any money. Guess what? That's the energy that's following you. You're going to continue to be broke. You're going to continue to have a negative or a zero. But when you change the way you look at it, and people laugh at me when I used to say this years ago, that if the balance wasn't what it needed to be, I would say the money is circulating its way back in. The money is circulating its way back to me. I need to produce more value. I need to bring more to the marketplace, especially as an entrepreneur when you're out there creating your own opportunities. If you're on a job and you're working a 9 to 5 and you want to get that raise, you have to continue to create the opportunities to show your value that people need and want you around. So changing the way you view a situation can ultimately change your life. It's that simple. It's not easy, but it's possible. Les Brown talks about that all the time. So that you can really focus your energy and your mind around the things that you want. Dr. Dwayne Dyer talked about that all the time, that if you would allow yourself to really be surrounded by the things that you seek, right? The very thing that you're looking for, the very thing that you want to have happen in your life, you have to be able to put yourself in a space where you're constantly thinking about it so the thoughts can turn into the actions, and then the actions manifest your destiny. That's the road that he taught and he spoke on, and millions of lives, thousands of people in person listening to PBS specials, those watching on the TV and on YouTube videos, looking at the inspiration that he shared, not just to feel good in a moment, but to find tools to create new skills and habits within our lives so that we know that the belief is what we have to reconnect to, the belief that it can be done. And whether it's hard, whether it's difficult, whether it challenges the very essence of our being, that we can still move forward and not die with our music in us. With the power of intention, we can make the choice to change the way we look at things. We can make the choice to not see lack. We can make the choice to celebrate abundance. We can make the choice to be able to make sure that the people that are around us are speaking the same language. He urged us over and over again not to underestimate our power to change. Don't sell ourselves short. Who's been there? I know I've been there. There was a time in my life where I did sell myself short on thinking that I could change certain things, that it wasn't possible for me. Who, me? Little girl from the Bronx, West Indian, first generation here in this country. Who knew? Was it really possible? I didn't grow up on the special block, or I didn't have the special connections, that I could change the way I viewed the world. I could change the way I saw circumstances, and I could walk in the authority by which I was divinely created. Who knew? Who's been there thinking about, as you hear someone like Wayne Dyer, maybe some of you have never been exposed to him before. You just saw what Les Brown wrote as his tribute to him. You've seen them on the news talking about him, and you're like, who is this man? Well, the only way we can pay true tribute to a legend like Dr. Wayne Dyer is to be able to really, and let me say this really clearly, because I'm getting choked up with just the thought of dying with our music in you. See, I'm on a mission to make sure that people that I'm around don't die with their music in them, to be that uncomfortable, to be that uneasy with mediocrity. He talked about the fact that you can't just do the ordinary. You have to be extraordinarily passionate about what you've been given. There's only one you. And when I think about the fact that just this past weekend, I took time out to spend time with my 83 and 84-year-old grand aunt and uncle. And they're living full. They're still driving. They made us dinner. They still take care of a house all on their own. And some of the reason why is because they keep their minds active. And I asked them to share what their life lesson was, and they said love. I said, wow. That's what you wanted to share with the world. We did something fun. Those of you that have been on for a couple of weeks, you heard me talk about Periscope. My 84-year-old uncle was so intrigued with the idea of being on social media, and that's what he was sharing. And then I thought about that when I read the quote today that people have been tweeting and sending out and celebrating Dr. Wayne Dyer, and I said, that's it. Love is the universal language. Love is where we exist in a space that we celebrate ourselves. We celebrate every moment. Just like I said in that opening quote, we are not our bodies. We are not our possessions or our careers. But what we are is divine love, and that is infinite. Amazing. Amazing that he is able to still stand. See, his body might not physically be here, but his words will never die. He will constantly be called the father of motivation that some affectionately refer to him as. He has the printed story that becomes a part of his legacy. So I say to you, when we are in these positions where we give tribute, when we think about the people that have affected our lives, when we think about those who have trailblazed a path for us, when we think about a Dr. Wayne Dyer and how we really honor his life, it reminds us of what are we leaving on this planet? What songs are we ready to share with the world? What songs are we ready to let go? And at the top of our voices, with every essence of our being, walk in our divine assignment. He didn't wait for things to be perfect when he started out. You've heard me repeat that over and over again. It's about getting started so you have something to perfect. What if Dr. Dyer didn't go through his struggles, his challenges, all of the ups and downs in life? Would he have written 40 books? Would he have lectured on stages all around the world? Would he have been able to create programs that caused transformation in the lives of others? It was that story about that gentleman that sparked him to write his first line, "Don't die with your music still in you." And that's what he said, "Dear Wayne, don't die with your music still in you." What if he never did that day? What if he never listened to his uncle share that story? What if he never went through his path, his journey? He would have left this planet with all of that wisdom, all of the love he shared, all of the joy he caused, all of the transformations that he was responsible for. So it should inspire us to leave a legacy. 40 books, a whole platform later. And I'm choking, Anita.
You know I got your back, girl.
Girl.
Yeah, girl, I tell you, we do want to live full and die empty. Stacie, you have said some powerful things, and Dr. Wayne Dyer, he was intentional in everything that he did. And one of the things I can say to you is when I was first introduced to Dr. Wayne Dyer, it was through PBS. And on PBS, I'm sure a lot of you listeners out there became familiar with Dr. Wayne Dyer on PBS. And as I would watch him and listen to his words, not only did he speak words that allowed me to grow and to personally hold on to, he actually lived that life to himself. So he was a living example. So we are so thankful for the opportunity to have had the opportunity to know this man, Wayne Dyer, who we lovingly call, he's known by many as the father of motivation, a powerful, powerful man, and we salute him. Another one of the quotes that I love by Dr. Wayne Dyer, it says, "You can't always control what goes on outside, but you can always control what goes on inside." And for those of you that are listening, I'm sure that some of you have many, many challenges that are going on around you. But what I say to you this night is don't allow those things to control what goes on inside of you. Because when you do that, you are giving away your power. So Dr. Wayne Dyer spoke so much life into our lives. Another quote that he has, it says, "The highest form of ignorance is when you reject something you don't know anything about." And again, for those of you that are listening on the call, there are some things that you need to learn. So don't be afraid to take on new responsibilities in order to, as Stacie said, don't die with your music in you.
That's right.
Powerful, powerful message. Are you okay, Stacie?
I'm okay. I don't know who tried to shut me up, but the devil is a lie. I'm still here, and I'm still going to speak a deal.
Exactly. So, listeners, this is how we do. On Monday Night Motivation, we are a team, and we are a family, because what's in Stacie is in me. What's in me is in Stacie. What's in Les is in me and Stacie, because he has departed this. What's in Wayne Dyer is in us. What's in Wayne Dyer is in you. What's in Les is in you. What's possible for one is possible for all. And all of you, when you get on this call on Monday Night Motivation, you leave, and hopefully when you leave, you do something differently. So I want to say to you that Stacie said that it seems like it's simple to do this, which it really is. And I want to give you 3 steps. And those 3 steps is very simple. It's what I call the 3 C's. Clarity. When you are clear on what it is you want, the things that you want to accomplish, you will focus on them and you will accomplish them. Courage. It takes courage to do what Wayne Dyer did. It takes courage to do what Les Brown does. It takes courage to do what Dr. Stacie does. It takes courage to do what I do. So I encourage you to have courage. And Dr. Maya Angelou said that is one of the number 1 attributes that we all have, because we face a lot of different fears that hold us back. And the final thing is commitment. And for those of you that have been on this call before, you've heard me say this before. One of the things Les Brown said to me was, Anita, you are not committed. And I'm thinking, why am I not committed? And when he said what he said to me, these next words, commitment shows up in your behavior. So I ask you today, what are you committed to? Is commitment showing up in your behavior? It certainly showed up in Wayne Dyer's behavior, because look at everything that he's done. So we're on this call tonight because we are committed to doing what we have been called to do. So Stacie just took over.
And that's what we do. We jump right in, and this conversation, this call is really a tribute. That's what Les wanted tonight to be. He was texting. I think he might even heard me choking for my life there, trying to get the word out. But he is double duty tonight. So in the event that he doesn't make it on, he wants you to know that he appreciates your support of this Motivational Monday Night Call. He appreciates the messages that you've been leaving on his Facebook page. Please go to brown.les, that's brown.les on the Facebook, and you'll be able to leave a message there and let him know your thoughts and how you are just remembering the man, the legend himself, Dr. Wayne Dyer, and that he has the upcoming program in September. There are 2 opportunities for you to see him live before the 4th quarter is over. So we'll announce that at the end of the call, September 12th at the Souls of Women Retreat with the First Family of Motivation. And then that's in Fort Lauderdale, and then in Orlando, you'll have an opportunity to be at one of his last live trainings for the year, September 18th and 19th in Orlando, Florida. So he loves you for being you. He wants me to remind you that there is greatness inside of you. And as Anita and I are paying tribute to his dear friend, a true transformational leader, a thought leader, someone who focused on sharing love and being the message that he brought. I want to share one of his quotes, another one. And he had so many. I mean, Anita, when you think about it, it was like a vault of gold that he has left for us to digest, for us to review, for us to think about the concepts as the very deep areas of personal growth and transformation that he led his life each and every day pursuing. He said each experience in your life was absolutely necessary in order to have gotten you to the next place and the next step up until this very moment. And when I read that, Anita, I said, wow, because sometimes we want to fast forward, and I'll be the first to raise my hand and say I'm guilty. I wanted to sow and reap in the same season. I wanted to fast forward Jesus to the extra glory and all of the fun stuff. But there's no fast forwarding because every experience in our life was absolutely necessary. We have to go through the journey. We can't get around it. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. We have to go through it. So going through that journey allows us to live a rich life, allows us to do what he has advised us, not to die with our music in us, to make sure that our lives mean more than just the day we were born and the day that we transition, that dash stands for more, that it stands for the impact, the legacy that you're leaving, the work that you're doing. And Anita, you know, here's another thing. Sometimes we think we have to find a cure for cancer before we can celebrate who we are and what we're leaving. Part of your legacy could be just that person in the neighborhood who always gave a smile, who lent a helping hand, or you were the person in business that kept the team going or inspired everyone to move forward, or you were that person that was able to console those when they lose their loved ones. Yes. Don't discount the power in what you have and what you share. It doesn't have to be monumental in the eyes of others as long as you're doing it from every fiber of who you are and sharing the best of you with this planet. We get one chance to do this thing called life. And if we live full, we will die empty. And Dr. Wayne Dyer was just, there's more that we can say, and we could be here all night long. But, you know, Anita, maybe some of the callers might want to say their own words of tribute to Dr. Wayne Dyer and how he impacted them, and we can open up, because I'm just thinking about the fullness of who he is. I can only imagine how his family feels. Yes. They're in between losing their loved one, their dad, their grandpa, their husband, you know, just the loss, but then they can celebrate. Like, look what a legacy he has left the family. Look what we're walking in. Like, he set up his children's children because he walked in divine alignment with his purpose on this planet. Anita, I don't know about you. I don't know how many days I have, but I want to make sure that when I'm gone, that my legacy still stands, and they don't forget about me.
The last time, exactly. He left a legacy. You're right. The last time I saw Dr. Wayne Dyer on PBS, he had his daughter with him singing. So he introduced her as well. So he has done such a phenomenal job as far as leaving a legacy, not only for his children, but for the world, and we are so thankful. So as we're going to open up the call, so now callers, you're going to star 6 to unmute the line. So let's hear from a few callers, and let's be respectful. And for those of you that always get in, let's allow some of the other people an opportunity to share some things. But we want to...
All callers are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing star 6.
Star 6 to unmute your line, everyone. This is Anita Hicks and Dr. Stacie N.C. Grant.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, my name is Josh. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, Josh.
It's good to talk to you, Stacie and Anita. Oh, my God. I didn't know about Wayne Dyer, and it was so powerful hearing those words from you. So I just want to say thank you so much. Wayne Dyer, for me, has been monumental. I started meditating 8 years ago after seeing one of his PBS talks in high school. It's hard to believe how much, like, he's transformed my path, and hard to believe that I never got the chance to see him or thank him, but how powerful of a person he's been in my life. So thank you for talking about that.
Absolutely, Josh. And Josh, listen, you're honoring him, Josh, by just living what he taught, what he shared, putting that into practice. That's the best thank you can give him. So continue doing what you're doing, Josh.
And one thing that Josh said, even though Josh never met him, never sat in an audience with him, Dr. Wayne Dyer's reach was so extensive. That PBS program made a difference in a lot of people's lives, like you, Josh. That's why I was first introduced to him. And once I got introduced to him, I stayed connected. Next comment or thank you, Josh. Next comment or question.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Dr. Stacie.
Is that my Ben?
Hello.
Yes,
yeah,
Ben,
it's
I
me.
hear you. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. I worked really hard today and I missed almost all of the call, but I made it to the end. And like Josh, I had no idea that Wayne Dyer passed away. So first of all, I'll pray that God will rest his soul, and secondly, I wanted to share with you guys a quote from him that I like, that he once said that you cannot be lonely if you like the person you're alone with. So I want to encourage everyone to do what Stacie and Anita said, to not afraid from stuff you don't know, you don't currently know. You can learn everything, so don't be afraid of being with yourself and, working on your craft. And thank you guys for this wonderful atmosphere. I just got in, it's 4 a.m. and you gave me such a boost of energy that I don't know if I would be able to go to sleep right now.
Well, Ben,
thank you
love you for always being here, calling in from Israel, just being consistent and what you're doing, Ben. I'm so proud of you. We'll talk again, and you could update me on what's going on. But thank you for being here tonight.
I will.
And
Thank
it's
you,
good
everyone.
hearing from you. It's good hearing your voice, and nice chatting with you again. All right.
My name is
Hi,
Samantha.
Hi,
My name is Samantha. Yeah, my company is Unlimited Fashions. I'm calling from Sacramento, California. You said that commitment shows up in your behavior. I was taking notes. Is that exactly what you said?
That's exactly what I said. Commitment shows up in your behavior. So if you want something, you're going to be doing the work to get it. So that's one of the things that really changed my life, because think about, you said Samantha, correct?
Yes, that's my name, Samantha from Sacramento. Mm-hmm.
Samantha, when you think about your goals and when you prioritize your goals, whatever your goals are, if you are not doing the work to reach that goal, you're doing everything else around it, but you look at your level of commitment. And when Les Brown said to me, Anita, why aren't you at the training? Why aren't you speaking more? And I said, well, Les, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I was doing all kinds of things other than what I said my goal was. And my goal was to become a motivational speaker. So I wasn't focusing on it and hadn't made it a priority. And once I made it a priority, and I really understood. Now I'm going to say this to you. I didn't get it the first time when he said it. But once I started really allowing that to get into my inner part down to the cellular level, I understood exactly what he's saying. And some of the listeners on the call understand what I'm saying too. So commitment, look at what it is that you are focusing your time to, because time, everybody has the same amount of time. So if you have a goal and you're not putting the time in it, you're putting it somewhere else. Did that answer your question or make sense?
Thank you. Thank you for explaining it.
You're quite welcome. Thank you for your question. All right, who's next? Comment or question? We have a time for about a couple of more. Star 6 to unmute your handset.
Hi, good morning. This is Stephen from London again.
Hey, Stephen. How are you?
Top of the game. I'm good. Thank you very much.
Good.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you and appreciate you for the wonderful work that you guys are doing again. I've got to admit, I'm a novice to the Wayne Dyer. I did not know about him at all. But I'm just looking on the internet right now and looking at the books. I'm definitely going to be buying this Power of Intention to just take me to the next level with what I've heard today. And I'm just, just on a roll and loving and appreciating everything that, I'm able to do in Christ Jesus, and what you ladies are doing and what Les has set up for us to just take advantage of. So thank you very much, ladies.
You are welcome, and you're showing commitment being here at 1:30 in the morning in London. That's showing commitment, and we appreciate you because you're serious. You're hungry. Les talks about being hungry. When you're hungry for change, when you're hungry for knowledge, there's no boundaries. You keep moving and you keep going, and that's what Dr. Wayne Dyer talked about, getting in touch with who you are, doing the work from the inside out. You can't bring the message unless you work on the messenger. So thank you for being here, and we appreciate your support and being here mostly every week. Seeing you and Ben calling from Israel, everybody in the continental United States, you don't have any excuses. Tell a friend, tell somebody. Change the people you're around, the conversations, what you're listening to. That's the only way you manifest what you are. You are welcome.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. We have a time for 2 more callers, and then we're going to give you the contact information, how to stay in contact with us. So star 6 to unmute your handset.
Hello?
Yes.
This is Johnny Morning in the UAE.
Johnny Morning. I'm proud of Johnny Morning. This is Lauren Hudson from Atlanta, but I'd love to hear Johnny Morning.
Okay, go ahead, Johnny,
How are
and then we're
you?
going to hear Lauren.
So Johnny and Lauren, you guys will go. So Johnny, you going to let ladies go first?
Yeah, of course I will.
Oh, well I'll keep it brief because I want to hear Johnny, but I will say that I had the honor and privilege of listening to Wayne Dyer just yesterday. He was on Oprah's Soul Sunday, so I sat for an entire hour just being filled with this man, and he just kind of pours into the world in just a quiet but a confident way. And he talks about being at peace with yourself, and that's when you can hear your soul. And one other thing I just really want to make sure I share because it really resonated with me. He talked about the power of I am. And he didn't necessarily refer to the Bible at the time, but if we all look at the whole idea of declaring I am and aligning ourselves with what we want to be, not necessarily looking at our circumstances as we see with our mind's eye, but with our heart and soul, what our soul sees, and to declare I am healthy, I am happy, I am wonderful, I am strong, I am peace, I am love. And so that is a lesson from what he said yesterday that I will embody even more in my life, because if you think about it, it's just so very, very powerful how we speak to ourselves and how we live our lives. These other things, I believe it when I see it. A lot of people will say it, but you have to see it in order to believe it. So see yourself as the I am who is strong, the I am who is powerful, the I am who is healthy and wealthy, the I am who is at peace, and the I am who is love.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Those are powerful words. And one of the things that I do, just like you, Lauren, I have my I am affirmations. So that is a powerful, powerful message. So thank you so much for sharing that. Johnny, you can go ahead. You're the last one.
All right. Okay. Yeah, when I heard about Dr. Wayne Dyer's death, I immediately flashed back to when I was riding through Dallas, Texas, high on crack, listening to the cassettes back in the day. And, my life was going nowhere. And fast forward 7 years, I had the honor and privilege to be a co-author on a book with Dr. Wayne Dyer and Tony Robbins.
Awesome.
Awesome. The power of intention. Well, listeners, we are at the end of the call. Thank you so much for that powerful, powerful message, powerful word, Johnny. We certainly appreciate that. So, listeners, we are at the end of this call tonight, but it's not the end. So, Dr. Stacie, you want to give? I know you have the information for the upcoming events of Les Brown. Do you want to?
Yes, I do. So, real easy, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again for being here tonight, for allowing us this opportunity.
All callers are muted.
To pay tribute to a legend, a dear friend of Les Brown. They're actually scheduled to be together in another week or two. So, keep him in your thoughts as he's remembering the life, the legacy, and celebrating the fact that he had a personal relationship with Dr. Wayne Dyer. They did amazing things together, and he can look back on tons of memories on what they shared. If you want to see Mr. Brown live, there are 2 opportunities coming up. There's a third one that we will give you additional information on next week. But right now, you can go to lesbrown.com. If you go to lesbrown.com, you will see information on his training in Orlando, Florida, and that is going to be September 18th and 19th. So go to the site right now, and you'll be able to get that information on how to register for that event. You want to take the opportunity to do that. And he'll also be in Fort Lauderdale, Florida on September 12th, making an appearance with his children, the First Family of Motivation. And you can go to soulretreat2015.com. That's soul, S-O-U-L, retreat 2015, RETREAT 2015.com to register for that event. So those are 2 upcoming events in the month of September. 4th quarter is here. You want to start off strong. You want to finish the year strong. See him live at those 2 events. And you can also connect with him on Facebook. That's brown.les on Facebook. You can connect with the Platinum Speakers at Les Brown Platinum Speakers Network.com, lbpsn.com to find out more about the voices that you hear. And we invite you to invite a friend and welcome them to the Les Brown Motivational Monday Night community. This is a community of those who want to change the world, be inspired to be one of Les Brown's 100,000 voices of hope. We appreciate your presence. We appreciate your time and being a part of not leaving this world with our song still in us as a tribute to Dr. Wayne Dyer. So, Anita, it is always a pleasure to have you back home. You've been busy ripping and running.
Yes, I have been working on my master's. I will be done with my MBA next month. It is a lot of people don't know that, but it is 30 years later. I started, and because of life, I didn't finish, and I knew that one day I was going to go back and finish. So now that my children are grown and I am finishing my MBA, and I will be walking across that stage in October. So I'm thankful, and thank you so much for standing in the gap for me, Stacie. I really, really appreciate that. And to all the listeners that are on the call, as Stacie said, we want you to invite someone on the call. And I know that some of you were moved tonight, and you are interested in becoming a part of Les Brown's Platinum Speakers. So let me tell you how you can become a Platinum Speaker. If you can simply email me, Anita, that's ANITA, at ANITAHICKS.com, and I will tell you about the Platinum Program and how you can become a part of this family. This is such a blessing tonight to honor a man, Dr. Wayne Dyer, known to many as the father of motivation. You've heard a lot tonight, and we thank you for joining in with us. And remember the words of Dr. Wayne Dyer. Change your thoughts. Change your life. So listeners, thank you so much for joining us. And as I always remind you, never, ever, ever give up on your dreams, because the world awaits your light, your authentic gift. God bless you all, and God bless your dreams. Good night. Good night, Stacie. I'll see you on the 9 o'clock call.
Yes, indeed. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Have a great week.